What's going on, everyone? Investor here. It's time for my weekly portfolio update. So if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that bell icon. I don't want you to miss any new content. So this will be another 2-week recap. I did miss last week, and I apologize for missing last week. I was out of town and wasn't able to get an update out, so no distractions in the foreseeable future for me. So I should be able to be back on track for the weekly updates on the weekends. So the past 2 weeks, I was able to deposit about $700 into the account. So right now my account is sitting at just over $13,700. So as you can see here, $13,721.60. I spent the time dollar cost averaging, and I bought up quite a few shares. You'll see once I get to the spreadsheet, I did pick up quite a few things. So I did receive 7 dividend payments over the last 2 weeks, and I've already beat first and second quarter of 2023. Now, of course, that's not saying much since last year was my very first 2 quarters, but it's still nice to see. Nice to see the growth, nice to see the chart, and I'll show you when we get there. So let's jump over to that spreadsheet and I'll show you what I've been up to. All right, guys, so taking a look at the spreadsheet, you'll notice here down the column here. So if you're new here, again, I'll explain this real quick because I do in a lot of videos. This is just the shares that I currently have. The shares that I had last week, or in this case will be 2 weeks ago. So I try to do in between every video so you guys can see in the difference. So this being everything that I picked up here in the last 2 weeks. You can see there's quite a few things that I picked up. Most notably, it's going to be Tesla. You see, I added all 25.5 shares. I'm really trying to bulk that up as one of my goals this year is to get the income generation. We'll cover more on Tesla here in just a minute. But you can see quite a few different shares. Some of these are going to be things that I dollar cost average / bought, as well as the drip, as well as things I just flat out picked up for ex-dividend dates, things of that nature. So 365 history, you can see still a few greens. See Procter and Gamble actually made it into the green. JEPI and Verizon, they continue to go green one week, not green the next week. So they're still right on the cusp. So hopefully things will continue to push forward. But you can see quite a few things. Did pick up some SCHD, some JEPI, some O, like I said, quite a bit of Tesla. A couple shares of Altair Group, as that's one of the goals we'll cover in a minute. Pepsi here, this is from the drip, as well as I think I actually put a little bit into that one, just $5-10, not much. Procter and Gamble, that was just about $5 worth, nothing, just dollar cost average to try to bring that cost basis down, as well as ex-dividend date. Target was kind of the same, just trying to add a little bit more, and then the 2.5 shares basically of PQQ and JEPY just for the income generation. So quite a few things I picked up over the last 2 weeks. So let's jump over. So as of the end of business day on Friday, you see it was down $12, really fueled by Tesla. The last 2 weeks or so, at least since the beginning of this year, I would imagine. Yeah, about the beginning of this year, I'd say Tesla is just really starting to take a dive. So you can see overall, now I am down $62 on the position, including the $90 that I have received in the dividends over this, like since I've owned them at least. But 15% down on the position. You see my cost basis is $11.99, which I didn't think was too bad. But now that the share price is down to $10.20, it's kind of a rough go. So for all of us Tesla investors, I feel your pain. I feel, that same thing you guys are feeling. Should I dump it? But you got to weigh it out. What is it worth? Is this something that we should invest more of? Is it going to rebound? Or is it time to cut ties? Obviously, I can't make that decision for you. For me personally, I'm gonna continue to buy. I don't think it's going anywhere. It's hopefully just a lull in the storm kind of thing, like many of the other things went through this past few months, and certainly over the last year. So see, O is down a little bit, but I'm still up on O. My cost basis being $56 there, the actual price, so I'm doing okay there. Quite a few things so year to date over here. So if you're new here, again, here's the total for the last business day. Over here is the total period on the position. This counts the underlying position as well as the dividends factored back in. So you can see there's some things like, Coca-Cola here. I'm actually down a little bit on the underlying position, but it's 0.35, but up because of the dividends. So 5.8%. Sorry, where I'm sitting now with a $622 gain on the total portfolio since I've been doing this, and this is obviously my beginning of my second year. So last year was my very first year. So got quite a bit more things to learn, things that I'm working on, but nonetheless, I'm happy to see the numbers. I'm happy for me. I'm happy for what I've decided to do with the portfolio and things that I've chosen. So not that I'm trying to mirror anybody else or trying to match certain things. But right now I'm happy with the way the portfolio is going. So let's jump over to the calendar. Show you here's the dividend payments that I've got so far for the month. Pretty much everything this month was practically front loaded. Everything I got wasn't going to be in these first 2 weeks. I have one dividend payment left, and I think that comes in on the 26th, so it'll be a little bit for that. So, but you can see you got the 1966 from Jeppy, $11.44 I received from O Realty. Tesla was 33.43. Altria Group 9.92. $2.61 from Pepsi. 578 from QQQY, and then 361 from JetWise. So total so far for the month of 86.45. And you see the projected for the month is 88.95, and that just adds the $2.50 I'm going to receive for Rhythm Capital on the 26th. So going to fall short of starting out the year with a $100 month. I was hoping I could just maintain that $100 month kind of rhythm that I had going, at least ending with December. I did get the first $100 month into my account then, and I was hoping I could just continue that trend. But either way, I'll take the $88.95 once it all hits. So far, $86.45, and you can see down here, according to the dividend tracker. I mean, granted, I fill all this out for the entire year, but these numbers are going to change just as the drip occurs as I add more shares. But at least it's good to see that every single month now should be over the $100, projected $1,400 for the year, which blows 2023 out of the water. So we'll see what that grows to as I go throughout the year. So please stick with me, guys. Please subscribe, follow the journey. This account, my goal this year, and I'll cover that here in a minute, is to get to the 25,000 into the account. So far so good. I'm pushing along. So like I said, 86.45 for the dividends. So moving over, here's the first month of the year. So 86.45 being the total. So obviously the one bar on the chart. As we continually grow and grow and grow, we're going to see better numbers here as we go. So hopefully, again, just the $100 months from here on out. So here's the pies between both my taxable account and my Roth. You can see the Roth is a little more well balanced as far as what I'm holding in it, and taxable is just real heavy with SCHD, JetB&O, and rightfully so. That's where I started out investing. Everything was in the taxable account, trying to really focus on those three as my goals for last year. So naturally, it's going to be pretty heavy there. So the goals for this year are pushing along. I added this little column here, just kind of help me to see what else or how close I am to hitting the goal. So with the things that I added for SCHG, O, and Jeppy, the goal last year was to hit 50 of each. I did fall a little short, so I decided the goal for this year would be just to continue to keep those along with the current goals that I've set. So that way, once I hit those, then I don't have to worry or try to focus as heavy as I've been on them, and I could spread the money around and on into other things. So I did add a little of all three. You can see I'm fairly close. Jeppy being only 2.5 shares away. Altria Group up to 15.8. Goals to get to 50. You can see I still need 34.5. Tesla, I want to have 250 shares. I'm up to 85. So I still need quite a bit. And then Pepsi. So one reason I added a little bit of Pepsi this past week or so was to just help try to get towards that goal of 20. So I still need quite a bit. Pepsi's going to be the fun one just because it's a little more expensive. So, but the goals are progressing. Granted, it's only the second week of the year. These three should be hit pretty soon, hopefully within the next month or two. Well, maybe a little longer. And then these I've got throughout the year. So we're getting closer. So as well as the account, I want to have 25,000 in the account by the end of the year. So 12.9 was where it was sitting at the time of the last video. So that will be updated come the end of the month here in January. We'll get that updated. So hopefully it'll be over the 14,000 mark, and we'll be pushing a lot closer to that goal. So moving along, you can see 2024 we're in now. So we got the 86.45 so far in the dividends. You can see adding together quarter one and quarter two, and I'm beyond that. So absolutely what you want to see, especially if you're new. Don't be afraid. Sometimes you see videos, you see people's portfolios, and they're putting up these huge numbers. Don't let that discourage you. Look at me. I had my very first quarter last year. I got $11 total for the quarter. So now this quarter is 86.45. So if you think of that, next quarter or the first quarter for 2025, what's it going to look like? So just keep focused, keep pursuing what your personal goals are, your personal dreams with your account. It'll get there. Just don't get caught up focused on trying to match yours with everybody else's that you see. You're you and they're them. So they, the portfolios aren't the same. Don't get caught up in that. So just keep pushing for yourself. So you can see chart should continually grow as we get these next couple quarters as well. The bar will kind of outshadow that one. So you'll see last year I only received $355 total in dividends for the year, guys. So don't get discouraged when you see, oh, I received $5,000 or whatever this month. That's great. I'm happy for those guys. I truly am. That's fantastic. I would love to do that one day, but don't let that discourage you, because eventually, you'll get there. You've got to put in the work and it'll get there as well. So far 86 for the month or for the year. A long way to go. Obviously, we're still only in the second week of January. So hopefully that'll take that down. So projected dividend income for the year with the holdings that I've got, you'll see Tesla's obviously still the huge spike. You know, SCHD, Jet B, and O over here with what I had focused on last year. So we should see a little bit more over here now with what I'm working on. So being that it's still just January, you see the trend line is going straight down kind of thing. Only because I did include December 23 as the starting point so that I can kind of show you where I ended last year to the start of this year. And right now we're only at $86. So last year I ended with 102 for the month of December. And so this year 86, or this month for 86. So you can see there's a little bit of a downtrend. It'll get a little bit higher. Then in February you can see the spike go right back up and that trend line is going to change. So it looks just kind of odd being that it's the first month. So then again, here's the portfolio tracker, like just showing you the value of the portfolio over time. Once January ends, I'll put that into the spreadsheet here, and you'll see the new value there. So a lot of things that I had going on this last 2 weeks, guys. Like I said, bought a lot of things. I've been buying a lot into Tesla. Granted, Tesla right now is what it is. Like I said, you could either choose to buy more or choose to dump it. Depends on what your personal needs are or your personal goals. So a lot of fun, a lot of stuff that I've been working on for 2 weeks. Happy to see like the way that I've started the year. I've still got a long way to go. Still looking at possibly picking up another position or two here in the future. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know, am I off to a good start? Let me know what your goals are. It might help me, stay focused on what my goals are and or change it. It's early enough that I can kind of re-amend or do things that I need. So hopefully you guys had a good couple weeks worth of dividends. I will catch you guys next week. Happy investing.